Good evening, everyone. It's great to see so many of you here tonight. As we close the festival, though, I cannot help but think about and reflect on the year that was 2016-17, the year that characterised the world around us, the year that defined how global HE reacted to the geopolitical environment around it, and then how was it that your little global BU shaped its own set of deliverables and responses. So if I may just take a minute to reflect back on each one of those three things. It would be fair to say, I think, that nationalism dominated world politics, and somehow, and sadly, globalization became associated with the wrong sorts of things. It became associated with inequality and immigration. And so I think in so doing, it reminded us that we had an even greater responsibility in higher education around the world to preserve the basis and the essence of what we do, academic, cultural, intellectual mobility, irrespective of any kinds of borders and boundaries to human mobility. So how did Global HE respond? Well, as always, Global HE was very resilient, it was very agile, and it was very responsive. But again, I think it might be fair to say that despite the bestest of efforts, up and down the country, 164 higher education institutions, I think somehow, somewhere last year, the locus of internationalization began to slip slightly away from us to some of our competitors, I dare say. And it is important to reflect back on that year. So, Canada, France, US, Australia, all of these countries increased their overseas enrollments in the range of 10 to 20%. Whole sector approaches to internationalization were announced in so many parts of the world, whether it be New Zealand, Japan, China. In fact, New Zealand actually matured its approach to internationalization, and as a country, not just the universities, but they said we would have an international student well-being strategy. Well, try getting an internationalization strategy for the country, leave alone an international student well-being strategy. So I think our competition definitely was taking a slice away from us and reminding us that we needed to once again take the baton of global engagement, international engagement, and ensure that it remains a core fabric of what we do in our societies regionally, nationally, and internationally. But it might be glum out there, but it wasn't glum here at Global BU. Little Global BU was, whilst all of this was happening around us, when the world was obsessed with borders and boundaries and crises and controversies, what was Global BU up to? Well, it focused on the future. It focused on imagining #GlobalEd2050. What would the world look like in 2050? What is it that the world of work might look like in 2050? Are we doing the right sorts of things to ensure that all our staff and students are ready for that world of work in 2050, for that society and economy that would be characterised around us in 2050? Never mind the grand challenges that UN signed up to a couple of years ago. The expiry date for those is 2030. Higher education needs to look beyond, and that is what we set out to do, imagining what the world would look like in 2050. What is the research, the education, and the practice we need to be delivering and driving, and that's what your Global BU set out to do and has been doing this last year. It's not been easy to define new models of internationalization in a world as I just described, but you did it. Staff, students, partners, many of whom here tonight. So just like John said, all I can do is re-echo a huge thank you to all of you for continuing to be the voices of passion and purpose. Tonight might be the close of the festival, but the celebration of learning, education and research and global engagement that we have embarked on shall continue.